Hi, my name is Kiwana Colwell, and I've been working in the educational field for over 10 years. I am currently working in the South Orange Maplewood District, which is located in New Jersey. For the past 3.5 years, I've been working in an ABA classroom, which is an applied behavioral analysis classroom, where all of my students are on the spectrum and classified with autism. Most of the students in my classroom are nonverbal. Throughout our day in the classroom, we are testing students on the assessment of basic learning and learning skills, which are abbreviated as ABLES. This assessment is an educational tool frequently used in our classroom to measure the basic linguistics and functional skills of an individual's development delays or disability. Working in any school district comes with many difficulties between making sure all students are given the equal education as everyone else. But most importantly, it comes with legal and safety policies that we must follow correctly for all children. Legal and safety issues within a school district will always be the number one priority because each student's personal file, whether they have a disability or not, must be handled properly. Dating back in history, between 1970s education was defined as educational transformation. Focusing on these times, there were many racial segregated systems of schooling. During this time in educational, there were efforts made in increasing educational opportunities and improving the performance of the disadvantaged minorities. Minority students were now able to attend all white schools and receive the same education as they did. Students that spoke a different language rather than English were now granted the ability of bilingual instruction. Also during this time, many people had different views on the teaching of students. Some agreed that students learn best when giving structure and to memorize key facts and concepts, while others believed that students needed more time to answer questions that interested them, and sometimes that structure hinders their education. After many debates and low test scores, parents decided to go back to the traditional way of teaching students. Leading up to education in 2001, the United States entered an era of educational accountability with the Institute of the No Child Left Behind Act. This new act signified that all students will receive the same free education that are followed by the Common Core standards. Over the past couple decades, there have been numerous cases regarding parental rights and student educational rights over time. One important case in special education was in 1972, Mills versus the Board of Education of the District of Columbia. This case was resented because students were denied educational because they were classified with behavioral issues. The court then ruled that students with disabilities must be given a free public education even if they were unable to pay for education. Another important court case in special education was in 1954, Brown versus the Board of Supreme Court ruling, where a little girl by the name of Linda Brown wanted to attend a school that was closer to home but was denied because of the color of her skin. A group of 13 parents, including Linda's dad, sued the Topeka School Board schooling system, allegedly that segregation deprived them of equal protection of the laws under the 14th Amendment. Over some time in court, they ruled that segregation between whites and black students were in violation of the 14th Amendment and concluded that in the field of public education and doctrine of the separate but equal has no place in these schoolings, granting Brown and other minority children access to attend school regardless of the color of their skin. Here are some helpful ways to stay up to date for special education. They can be found on a website called Adapting for Autism at www.adaptingforautism.com, which specializes in adaptive material for students with autism. Another website called Intervention Central at www.interventioncentral.org, which provides free intervention and assessment for educators in grades K through 12. Another website is called the National Center for Learning Disabilities at www.ncld.org, which provides helpful information for parents, teachers, and students.